It's interesting, William saying to Harry, are you sure? It was my brother who said to my wife, are you sure? Before we got married.
Really?
Yeah. She was trying to help her out.
And look how that turned out.
Who's laughing now? Question is Meghan really to blame for the latest rumours of turmoil?
Yeah, it does seem like she's getting all the stick, doesn't it? We're joining us now is Katie Nicholl, royal author, who says Meghan has nothing to do with the decision to break up the foundation. Anton, biographer and author of The Rebel Prince, who believes Meghan is very much responsible. Do you really think that?
I do, because I think Harry is a sort of really decent bloke, but easily influenced. And I think he's found great love with her. And at the same time, he's married a woman who's very determined, very ambitious, who had a huge career in her terms in Hollywood, and these rumours about them going to Cape Town in South Africa is all about an individual Meghan-led operation. And that isn't, she's not meant to be taking advice from an actor who advertises coffee. She's meant to be taking advice from Buckingham Palace, and I think she's resisting it.
But isn't an actor who's selling coffee, I assume you're meaning George Clooney, it's somebody who has faced an extraordinary amount of scrutiny across his whole career and actually maybe would be able to offer some valuable advice which is specific to her and to Harry rather than the royal protocol which might work in the past?
I think the exact opposite. I think the fact that that baby shower party in New York was very much organised by the Clooneys show they don't understand that the royal family is the most important part of the British country. I mean, it's the glue at the moment in these troubled times that holds the country together. And the one thing you can't have is someone going off-piste, someone doing an opera, their own thing.
I think there is a learning curve in all of this. And I've spoken to sources who are very close to the Sussexes, and I think they will say that this has been an adjustment period for Meghan. Marrying into the royal family is no easy feat. I've said it before, but the idea of two duchesses feuding, much sexier than two brothers that have actually fallen out over something. So I think there have been tensions, but I think this is part of a learning process. But to bring it back to what has actually happened, which is the division of their charitable foundation, to me, it feels very much like the next step. Sussexes have got their family now, they've got their own household, they've got their own court. It makes absolute sense to me that they should have their own charitable foundation. They are going to have very different roles to William and Kate. William and Kate's going to be king and queen.
But
The
Katie,
Sussexes
it doesn't
aren't.
help, with Tom's point though, it doesn't help with the rumours that there is something more untoward going on. If they've built this, because Sean was at the launch of the foundation when the brothers first came together, and then we saw it develop further when both the wives were involved too.
Shall I tell you what I think went wrong, if I'm being honest?
Yeah.
I think had they announced that there was going to be a separate household at the time of the wedding or shortly after, and a new charitable foundation, it would have felt very natural, it would have felt very timely, and possibly we wouldn't have had this whole narrative and the rumours of the rift being fuelled. I think you're right. Probably people are saying, well, you know, is there now a separate foundation because actually as a foursome they don't get on? All of that would have been avoided had the announcement that there would be a separate household and a separate foundation.
And had they taken instruction from the royal household, because that's Tom's point, is that...
My point is simply that you're right if they started like that, but thank goodness they didn't. Because actually, the royal household is one household. It shouldn't be separate households. It shouldn't be rival households.
But it's always been separate households, Tom. You've got the Prince of Wales has his own household at Clarence House. The William and Harry set up their own household at Kensington Palace.
Charles's own household is actually the reason why I wrote my book about Prince Charles. He was causing terrible trouble by his own household.
Isn't this just families?
No, it's not just a family.
Isn't this just... I know they're not just a family. They're an extremely important family constitution.
Welcome back to the Royal Sussex Squad, where we dive deep into the ongoing media smear campaigns against the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. In today's episode, the relentless hypocrisy and unjust scrutiny aimed at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle takes centre stage. The attacks continue, but the truth will always shine through. Stay tuned as we dissect these latest narratives. And don't forget, subscribe and support through the Super Thanks feature to help keep the conversation going. Once again, Meghan Markle finds herself at the centre of a controversy she had no hand in creating. The latest round of speculation blames her for the split of the royal foundation, a decision that in reality had been a long time coming. Yet the media remains fixated on a tired and baseless narrative, insisting that Meghan must be responsible for every decision Harry makes, as if he lacks agency of his own. The truth, however, tells a different story. Prince Harry has always been a man of conviction, dedicated to his work long before Meghan entered the picture. His commitment to causes like the Invictus Games, wildlife conservation and mental health advocacy stands as undeniable proof of his independent nature. The idea that he is suddenly being influenced or controlled dismisses his entire history of leadership and personal choice. The media's double standards are as glaring as ever. When Prince William and Kate Middleton make decisions about their roles, the press describes them as wise and dutiful. But when Harry and Meghan make the same choices, such as establishing a separate household, it is spun as rebellious and problematic. Yet the existence of separate royal households is nothing new. Prince Charles has his, and William and Kate have theirs. The only difference? Meghan's presence, which continues to fuel the media's insatiable appetite for drama. Royals experts conveniently argue that Meghan should be taking guidance from Buckingham Palace, rather than figures like George Clooney. Yet history has shown that the palace is hardly a bastion of sound advice, particularly when it comes to protecting its own family members. Princess Diana's experience serves as a stark reminder of what happens when an institution prioritizes its image over the well-being of its people. Meghan seeking wisdom from those outside the royal sphere is not a sign of defiance, it's a sign of intelligence. Even Meghan's baby shower became a target of criticism, labelled too Hollywood and unroyal. Meanwhile, Kate Middleton's gatherings are praised as elegant and traditional. This blatant hypocrisy underscores the relentless media bias, revealing an obvious agenda to undermine Meghan at every turn. Another common and baseless claim is that Meghan has somehow changed Harry, as if growth and personal evolution within a loving marriage are unnatural. In reality, Harry's decision to step away from royal life was not about Meghan. It was about leaving an institution that had failed to protect them both. His continued happiness and success prove that he made the right choice. The media also continues to twist Meghan's words to fit its narrative. Her past comments about Donald Trump's divisiveness were used against her. Yet when she refrains from making political statements, she is accused of lacking loyalty. The goalposts keep moving because, for her critics, no response will ever be the right one. Ultimately, the relentless attacks on Meghan are not about royal tradition or protocol. They stem from an unwillingness to accept a biracial, self-made, intelligent woman within the monarchy. Rather than celebrating the positive impact she and Harry continue to have on the world, detractors remain obsessed with tearing them down. And so the media circus continues, but so does the truth. The Royal Sussex Squad will always stand in support of Harry and Meghan, shining a light on the hypocrisy and unfair treatment they endure. If you enjoyed today's discussion, be sure to subscribe and contribute via the Super Thanks feature. More unfiltered conversations are coming your way soon. Until next time, keep questioning the narrative and standing for what's right.